Hey everybody, thanks for watching. Justin Jefferson, I think sometimes, I know when I talk about the Vikings second-year receiver, maybe I get a little lost in the fantasy football aspect of it, and that's rightly so. It's sort of how I make my living, but sometimes it pays just to take a step back and appreciate the overall skills of a young player, and after having done this film review, I'm to the point where, Devontae Adams is really good. Tyreek Hill has a really specific thing about him that's really, really good. Stephon Diggs, incredible route runner. I gotta tell you that after this exercise, boy, I'm gonna show you some film that I'm not sure Justin Jefferson might not just be the best receiver in the league already just in year 2. What I want to focus on at first with Jefferson is how much space he creates at the snap. Week 1 against the Bengals, he's wide right. Awuzie is the corner over him. Man coverage with a single safety back. It means you got to run with Justin Jefferson, right? The defensive back's going to have to cover him. And at the snap, bam, bam, bam. Just a dream shake to get inside position, and you're gone across the field, and there's no catching back up. It's basically 2 yards of space created against man coverage right away. Week 2 against the Cardinals, split wide left, Robert Alford over the top of him, cover 2 behind, man under. This will be a simple in-cutting route, but if you're not playing inside position, it's impossible to stop this because look at the severity of the stop followed by the acceleration out of the break. Jefferson can get a yard on you before you know what's happened. That is all over Jefferson's film. What I want to pay attention to on this deep out, so this was a 4th and 9 at the end of the game. The Vikings had to have it. And it's softer coverage than we just saw. I'm not going to pretend like Jefferson eked out a tight window catch here necessarily, but I want to pay attention to how fast he is after changing directions, how he basically loses no speed at all making these cuts. So it's Tavon Young as the DB here, and he's playing sticks, right? He knows where Jefferson has to go on 4th down, and it doesn't matter. Jefferson's over 6 foot. He's over 200 pounds. He's not a giant moose, but he's not little, and he's still got that change of direction. That is hard to beat, being able to change direction without losing speed. That is how separation happens. We've got flashier plays we're going to show you than this one, but this speaks to how quickly, just 25 games into his career, Jefferson has vaulted past a very good pro like Adam Thielen to become his team's number 1. He's slot right here, and it's an out route with man coverage right on top of him. And before we let it run, I'm going to be honest. This is not where you usually throw this ball. With a safety over the top, the slot corner can play kind of a trail technique and not have to be afraid of a long pass. So if you're the quarterback and you know it's an intermediate out where the DB can hang in and stay underneath it, you probably aren't taking this throw. But this is the trust that Kirk Cousins has for Jefferson, that Jefferson's outside break will involve no deceleration, and it'll be a small window, but the window will definitely be there, and it is. Same exact scenario, slot right. It's an out route again. There's still safety help over the top. There's still a slot corner who can afford to play trail technique and therefore sit on routes that Jefferson might break off. And he's just so fast to turn his hips and generate that space by not losing any of his speed changing directions. The window is small. It's there. It's another completion. Hey, let's thank DraftKings for sponsoring today. If you live in one of those magic states here in the U.S. and you're eligible to play sportsbook at DraftKings, they've got a good deal to get some free bets. New customers who bet just $1 on either team in any game to avoid a shutout in Week 11 will win $100 in free bets as soon as their team scores a single point. And in just about any state you live in, you can play daily fantasy with us, and any new customer gets a free DFS contest when they sign up. Either way, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use the promo code HarrisTube. If Sportsbook is legal where you are, get $100 in free bets when you place a $1 bet on any team to score a point at all in any game in Week 11 or play in a DFS contest. Either way, no matter what, if you make a new account, use that promo code HarrisTube. So here's where Justin Jefferson sits after 9 games in 10 weeks. These are very good numbers. 9 targets, 6 catches, 86 yards per week. You'll take that any day. And yet I don't think these numbers really do him justice. In weeks 8 and 9, he saw 4 and 6 targets in close games, which in my opinion is bad coaching. We did a video about Jamar Chase a few weeks ago about how he changes defenses. Jefferson does that too. Chase just has a more aggressive play caller and, maybe more importantly, a more aggressive quarterback who is more willing to take risks. And man, when Jefferson submits this kind of film, you just wish he got more deep shots. This is Denzel Ward on Jefferson. Down 7, under 3 minutes left in the game. This is pure man coverage. And it's Denzel Ward. You're supposed to stay away when Denzel Ward has you locked up man on man. And, I mean, there winds up being nothing bad about the coverage here. With the ball in the air, Jefferson's just faster. He pulls away that little bit. Not really known as a speed guy, not really known as a total dead run sprinter, but he pulls away just that little bit when you need it, and it's a perfect throw, and it's a 31-yard gain to give Minnesota life. Here's one where similarly good coverage by a good corner, Dante Jackson of the Panthers. But by golly, take the shot. So much good technique. I mean, we haven't even shown you the Justin Jefferson ankle-breaking stuff yet. Just, when Jefferson gets up on his man, he's a total handful going deep, too. Now, no, he's not Tyreek Hill. He doesn't have that extra gear. And then also, by the way, a great play to get his feet in bounds. The point is that if you took 50-50 shots down the field more often with Justin Jefferson, I think he would convert a bunch more. Split wide left, again, not Tyreek Hill speed, and yet this is almost always enough, even matched man-on-man against a sub-4.5 corner, Amani Oruwaiye. Jefferson gets up on him. I mean, they're both on the dead run, right? And Jefferson stacks him and reaches out and just makes the long catch. I'd love to see more of it. It's clearly something in his arsenal, even if it's not always in Kirk Cousins' arsenal. You want the fun route running stuff? Okay, we got that too. How about a couple against the Seahawks? This is a 3-yard line, end of the first half. Isolate Jefferson on DJ Reed, fake like you're running the slant, pivot and run the fade. His change of direction is better than yours, is better than defensive backs. When it comes to footwork, Jefferson is right there with Stephon Diggs as the best in the game. How about we torment Trey Flowers, now since released by Seattle. So Jefferson's wide left here, and watch this. Jefferson stacks him again as though he's going deep. Flowers turns his hip to run with him, and bam. That's when the comebacker comes, and that's 5 yards worth of space on a 2nd and 14. That is nasty. Okay, and here's where I do the full disclosure thing and admit that the reason we chose Jefferson as a topic for this week's video is an admiration for his performance Sunday against the Chargers. 9 catches, 143 yards. Here he's wide left, and his move to cut to the outside at the top of his route is so violent, Devon Campbell has to reach out and grab him. It's called. It doesn't matter. Jefferson catches it anyway. Couple plays later, wide left. The kind of move Jefferson makes at the top of his route, it's subtle here. It's not like the total 360-degree NBA dribbling highlight ankle breaker, but let's slow it down. It looks for all the world like it's going to be a stop route, right? Jefferson sinks his hips like he's just going to stop or come back. And if we see it in slow motion, we see how much attention is paid to the footwork. And Asante Samuel sees it and is frozen. He's got Jefferson in man. It's one safety back. You got to go with him. And instead, Jefferson turns it into a wide open crosser. It's an improvisation. I admit, Kirk Cousins sees, Jefferson sees the coverage, and he does a good job reading the same thing that Jefferson does. And, just in case we've been a little light on ballet work in this video, let's close it out with 2 of Jefferson's best catches from Sunday and also just all season. He's covered. This is a good job by Campbell, but Jefferson goes up and grabs it falling backwards and somehow stays in bounds. I mean, that one's really good. And this one is probably even better. Let's appreciate this one. Again, good work by Campbell. Jefferson tries out about 3 different stop routes and, trying to get him to get off him, and the coverage is really good. And he never really is open here, but Cousins does take the shot, which we love. And there goes Jefferson, and I don't know what you're supposed to do about that. That is some Superman stuff right there to snatch that falling backwards like that. So this August, we did a video about Justin Jefferson, among other receivers, kind of talking about his route running and how maybe the legitimate inheritor to Antonio Brown style route running. I'll tell you what, in his second year, Justin Jefferson may have gotten better. He's backing it up. I don't know if he's the best in the league. Like, it's a hard thing, sort of a subjective judgment. I mean, Devontae Adams is really great and does a lot of the same things that Jefferson does. I mean, Jamar Chase looks a lot like this at times, maybe with slightly better speed. Tyreek Hill's really good. DeAndre Hopkins is really good. Everybody I just mentioned, except for Chase, is at least 27 years old. Justin Jefferson's 22. That is pretty scary. If he's not the best receiver now, then I think it's probably coming, and that is a fairly impressive thing, especially when Kirk Cousins is your quarterback. Maybe somewhere down the line he'll have a different, more aggressive signal caller throwing it to him. We'd love to know what you think. Do you think we've made a case that Jefferson is among the best in the league? Who do you think is the best receiver in the league right now? Tell us down in the comments, and as always, we really very much appreciate you watching. Thanks so much for watching. Please, please, please smash that like button, write a comment, tell us who else you'd like to see us review film on, and of course, best of all, please subscribe to our channel and then click that little bell above the subscribe button and you'll be notified whenever we post a new video.